What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today we are going to be talking about John Boyega. But before I get into that, my channel and my content are not for children, nor have they ever been. So if you are a child, go away now or watch this from a grown-up's account. Alright, so, guess what? It's December. It currently is December 11th when I'm filming this, so you guys will see this tomorrow, December 12th. But we're getting closer. You know, the countdown is there. It's there. Rise of Skywalker is coming out soon. We will finally be done with this travesty dumpster fire that is the Disney fan fiction of Star Wars, and the really shitty fan fiction, might I add. So, now that the actors, you know, they're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, they are almost done. They are almost out of here. They're not going to have to do any of these stupid Star Wars movies anymore. And the actors and actresses have even said, oh, you know, would you want to be in another Star Wars movie? And they're like, nope, nope. Nope, hold my beer, because I'm about to run as far as I fucking can to get away from this bullshit. And, you know, the closer it is to coming out, the more news we're going to hear, the more, you know, truth behind the scenes that had been going on. And so, John Boyega has, you know, said a couple of things. Daisy Ridley's been saying stuff too, and I feel like I didn't hear a peep out of Daisy Ridley's mouth since she started doing these movies. John Boyega, a little bit, but I feel like it was kind of more passive, so it's one of those things that he's not going to get a slap on the hand from Disney because you can interpret it different ways, like him talking about Anakin's ability with lightsabers, some of the kind of stuff he said about his character. Mark Hamill, you know, Mark Hamill was all out, like, no, this isn't true to Luke Skywalker. He got really bam by Disney. They're like, bad, Mark, don't do that. Just kind of like when a dog's peeing inside the house, like, don't do that, Mark. You can't do that. You can't tell people you don't agree with the way Luke Skywalker's character was portrayed. You have to agree with us because we are Disney, and if you don't agree with us, you are wrong, and we will persecute you until you do, and, you know, we will try to brainwash you. And, you know, Mark Hamill, he was the forefront of saying, this is wrong. I told them all it was wrong. It didn't feel right. I had to go call George because the way that these people were treating me, everything about it is wrong. And, he got slapped by Disney. He got put in his place. And so now Mark hasn't said a word. So now, actors like actresses like Daisy Ridley, actors like Oscar Isaac and John Boyega, Oscar Isaac straight up, nope. Doesn't matter how much money they're offering me, I'm not doing this shit anymore. John Boyega, oh, he said a few things, and it's glorious. But there's an article, so I have the article pulled up. I'm going to read it, so that way you guys can all have the complete context of what John Boyega was saying, because it is glorious. Let's go check it out. Alright, everyone, so I have this article pulled up, so here we go. Oh, damn it. John Boyega admits Star Wars, The Last Jedi, was a bit iffy. Alright, well that's more than we've gotten from anyone aside from Mark Hamill, so let's read this. This is by Logan Plant. It's an interesting name. And it was hard for all of us because we were separated. Alright, let's see. Excuse me. The Last Jedi was a divisive Star Wars film among fans, and it turns out that one of the movie's lead actors wasn't too thrilled with it either. I don't blame him. I 100% don't blame him. Out of all of the characters that were introduced, he had the most potential. Do you know how much everyone would have loved to see this redemption/hero's journey, or maybe even, you know, an anti-hero's journey from Finn, someone that was abducted since they were a child, forced into servitude, and to become a stormtrooper, and then, you know, have his potential laughed at, and instead of actually being a stormtrooper, they make him a janitor when, you know, they have droids for that, and to see him escape that, see him go and make a life for himself, and, you know, also dealing with, you know, the tragedy and, you know, the darkness that surrounds his past. And that would have been fucking interesting. I would have loved to see that. We could have had they don't want to do anything like the originals. They don't want to say anything about, you know, Luke Skywalker. They, you know, want to fuck up the Force abilities and all that. They don't want to listen to, you know, how hyperspace works, the lore and the science behind the Star Wars universe. They don't want to do any of that. All right. So have a character, have, you know, Finn be this, you know, revolting stormtrooper that's going on this redemption arc, and have him be the main character. He's not force sensitive, and then, you know, maybe he runs into a force sensitive being, and you get to see that from a perspective of someone that's not force sensitive. That would have been fucking fascinating. They did him dirty. I think out of all of the characters, he was the most interesting that they introduced. And what do? Nope. And, you know, they love to virtue signal. They love to have the fact, oh, well, we have our token black guy. We have our token Asian chick. We have, you know, our token Hispanic man. We have Daisy, we have a token, woman. Here we go. We got to show women. We got to have women in your face. All right. I don't fucking care about that. I just want a good written story. I didn't care that Luke Skywalker was a man. I just saw, a hero's journey and, a guy training to become a Jedi and finding his destiny. I didn't care that he was a fucking man. But, oh no, it's bad because he's a white man. All right, you like to virtue signal? Why didn't you make your main character black? Why did you have to go with the white chick? I don't care about Rey. I don't care about her character. She's a fucking Mary Sue. There's nothing interesting about her. Finn, on the other hand, you had so much potential. So much fucking potential, and you threw it away. And with your virtue signaling, I would have thought, why wouldn't you go with a black man as the lead? I don't care that, the actor that's playing Finn is a black man. It honestly has nothing to do with his character. You could literally race swap him with anyone, and now you can even gender swap him with anyone. It doesn't matter. Because that has nothing to do with his character. The only time when it really matters is if you're trying to, your like parentage, or if somebody is from this culture and it's required of them to, look a certain way from the culture. That I feel like that's the only time when it's important. But you had the potential, and they did him dirty. I understand why John Boyega would be disappointed in this. In an interview with Hypebeast, leading up to the rise of Skywalker, John Boyega reflected on his time as Finn, the First Order stormtrooper who turned and joined forces with the Resistance in Episode 7. Fan fiction, Episode 7. So this is his quote. People always like it when I do the British accent. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do this, but I don't want to do it. It's just hard. The Force Awakens, I think, was the beginning of something quite solid. The Last Jedi, if I'm being honest, I'd say I was feeling if I'm being honest, I'd say that was feeling a bit iffy for me. John Boyega, I am sorry, man. They made you look like a fucking idiot. I shouldn't say they. Rian fucking Johnson made you look like a complete idiot. And, hey, guess what? They let a woman sexually harass you. But it's okay for women in The Last Jedi to sexually harass men because it's Rian Johnson's sick, twisted fantasy. There was this little snippet of the costume designer, and she was designing all of these uniforms for purple-haired bitch. And guess what? Rian Johnson's like, no, I don't want her to be in uniform. Even though she's an admiral, I don't want her to be in a uniform. I want her to, look, beautiful. I want her to, be all, girly with the dress and all the hair and all that. Because she's going to be flirting with Poe. And I'm like, no. That is some kind of twisted BDSM type of role-playing where it's like, let's do the dominatrix type of woman. That's what that was leading into. And I was like, the way that she talked down to Poe, and she was just like, oh yeah, you're dangerous, let me, like, she was just fucking with him. She was holding her rank above his head and, tormenting him. And then she's like, oh yeah, I like him. It's like, yeah, no fucking duh, because you're doing your weird, twisted role-playing shit. It's weird. Rian Johnson has some weird fetishes which went into this movie. And then he has absolutely no problem with no romanticness between Finn and Rose. Heck, in the first movie, I was led to believe he was interested in Rey because one of the first things he says to her, he's like, oh, you got a boyfriend? And he's like kind of nervous about the way he was saying it. And it kind of seemed like he's interested in Rey. And I was like, all right, this will be interesting. Are they going to try to do a love triangle? Because, or I don't know, they're just kind of trying to do a love thing. I don't know. But that Rian Johnson got his hands on it and fucked everything up. He made Finn look like an idiot. He switched Kylo's little scar. He made Finn's, like, life-threatening injury that we thought were like, oh my god, is he going to wake up? Is he going to lose his arm? Like, he's going to have a bionic arm? Which I think would have been cool. Now he's had to deal with, being amputated and have, bionic limbs. Which I was like, ooh, that'd be awesome to see. Such potential to make cool special effects, costumes, toys. You could have milked the shit out of that, Disney. But guess what? Rian Johnson's a fucking weirdo, and he didn't do any of that. So fucking stupid. And they did him dirty. He got sexually harassed by Rose Tico in the movie. And you can see the pain in his face. He's like, what the fuck are you kissing me for? And if that roles were reversed, sexes were reversed, that would have been #MeToo on the fucking dot. But no, because it's a woman, it's okay for women to sexually harass men in Rian Johnson's point of view because it's his sick, twisted fantasy that he wants to be dominated by a woman, which is probably why he works so well with Kathleen Kennedy. All right, let's move it on. I get you, John Boyega. I didn't necessarily agree with a lot of the choices, in that that's something that I spoke to Mark Hamill about a lot, and we had conversations about it. All right, so Mark Hamill, the one that was up at the forefront saying, this is wrong, this is not Luke Skywalker, nothing about this is right, what are you doing, that's not how Luke would have reacted, that's not, nothing about this is Luke Skywalker, everything about this is wrong. And JJ was like, haha, shut up Mark. Then Ryan Johnson came in, oh, here's JJ's outline. Shut up, Mark. I'm gonna make you look like a fool. That Ryan Johnson to the fucking T. And so I 100% understand. Finn had this potential. John Boyega's character had this potential. He could have been the new face of Star Wars. He could have been that new hero that's leading the next generation. And Disney would have got praise beyond belief because they put a black man at the center front of Star Wars. It would have been fucking genius. They would have made millions of, if not billions of fucking dollars. But instead, nope, let's not do that. For once, I'm like, dude, you should have virtue signaled. You should have done it. You should have milked that shit. But nope. They didn't do it. Whatever. But I 100% understand him talking to Mark. They both were done dirty. They were done dirty so fucking hard that they're going to be feeling it for years, if not the rest of their lives. I get you, dude. I 100... And at least, the only, solace to that is that you get a vent to, Mark Hamill. I'd be like, just having a beer with Luke freaking Skywalker and be like, God damn it, those fuckers. And you're just, relating. They probably have a beautiful friendship because of that, because they were both done dirty. So I feel like that's the only good thing that came out of this. And it was hard for all of us because we were separated. Yeah, they were all kind of doing their own things. Rey's off on this planet island thing with, Luke. Finn is over here stuck with Rose Tico, sexually harassing him, following his every move, being a weirdo. And yeah, so basically all the cast, all the ones that got introduced, they were all off with other characters that they weren't, that they hadn't worked with, or that, they weren't together with in the last movie. So it's like, all right, well, we got to make new friends. It's like, do I want to, but it's like, do I want to be friends with those people? Do I? I mean, I feel like Poe, he got it pretty good. I'm pretty sure Laura Dern off screen when she's not playing, purple-haired bitch, is probably pretty cool. She could tell some good stories about, Jurassic Park. He got to hang out with, Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, and, I mean, I feel like he got, the long end of the stick on that bargain, but also, at the same time, Daisy Ridley, which I'm pretty sure she didn't take advantage of this at all, got to spend all that time with Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, but I'm pretty sure he was in a horrible mood the entire time as he was, getting used and abused by Ryan Johnson. But I get you. I get you, Finn. I get you. All right. I like how it says top 10 Star Wars moments. Get this girl out because she's not in Star Wars. She's in a fan fiction version of Star Wars. All right. Boyega went on to say that he thinks the original Star Wars movies are special because of the bond between Luke, Han, and Leia. Very, very fucking true. Luke Skywalker, when he was training with Yoda on Dagobah, he felt Han Solo and Princess Leia in distress. He felt that they were in pain. He felt that something was wrong when he was training, when he was not a full-fledged Jedi. And guess what? He left his training. He abandoned it. He told Yoda he would come back. And Yoda said, no, if you go, it's going to lead the path to the dark side. And he said, I don't care. My friends need me. And I'm going to go be a true friend. And I'm going to go save them because they need me. I can feel it from the Force. That guy, guess what? Oh, Han died? Oh, I didn't feel it. Oh my God, I'm just sitting here on my island, going fishing, drinking, green alien titty milk. But, what do you mean Han Solo died? It's like, you're telling me the guy that's a full-fledged Jedi Master, the last fucking Jedi in the galaxy, he didn't feel Han Solo fucking die, but yet when he was just a teenager, when he was training, barely even connected to the Force, he could feel them in pain across the galaxy? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how fucked up that is? That is not Luke Skywalker, and it's one of those things that's like, oh my God, did you watch the fucking movies that you're making movies based on? No, you didn't, or else you would know this. It drove me crazy. I remember sitting in the theater and I'm just like I felt like a Looney Tune cartoon where my face, it's like red and you can just see as it's getting closer to explode, and then the smoke comes out my ears and my nose and my eyeball, and it's like, what? Like with my jaw dropping to the floor. The frustration was fucking real. And you're right. People love that because Luke Skywalker, he was on his hero's journey. But guess what? He formed a friendship with Princess Leia. He formed a friendship with Han Solo. If Luke hadn't become friends with Han Solo and saw that Han Solo was a good person and kind of guilt tripped him when Han Solo was leaving because he's like, I gotta go pay off Jabba. I have to go be responsible. And Luke's like, why are you leaving us? We're about to go to war. We gotta go destroy the Death Star, and you're leaving now? You can't wait like an hour? And then, because of that, Han Solo came back, shot Darth Vader's ship so he would fly off, so that way he couldn't, destroy Luke's ship, and so Luke could destroy the fucking Death Star. That's a great friendship. And then even further on, Han was having his little relationship with Leia and everything, but still, Luke came back to save them. And then when Luke did save him, when Luke came back to Tatooine to go into Jabba's palace to save Han Solo, that entire part of the movie, that, Luke could have been with Yoda finishing his training, but instead he went to go save his friends, because Luke's a good fucking person, and he will never, abandon his friends. He will never abandon anyone, because Luke is that symbol of fucking hope. And we got to go on that journey with him. We got to see what it was like to become a Jedi. And they fucked that up! How? Why would you just destroy that? I don't understand. But they're like, hold my beer, let's fuck up everything that meant anything, and let's fuck up everything that everyone cared about Star Wars. And I understand the idea of these new people like John Boyega growing up, being a little boy, loving Star Wars, finding out that you're gonna be in a Star Wars movie, you're gonna get to put on a stormtrooper costume. How cool is that? And then I feel like Oscar Isaac was told he's gonna be the new Han Solo type, Rey's gonna be the new Luke Skywalker type, and those three just bonding me like, yay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna be in this new Star Wars movie, it's gonna be fun, we're gonna have these like lifelong friendship. And then they all get separated, they all go on these separate paths that are just fucked up and stupid and weird and have absolutely nothing to do with the overarching meaning, because guess what, they didn't have a fucking plan, and it's none of their fault. It's not. They didn't write it. They didn't get to choose for it to be that way. I'm pretty sure all three of them individually could come up with a better story than any of the people that have been writing this bullshit, any of the people that have been directing, any of the people that are in charge of this fucking bullshit. So I 100% get him. He's upset because he was separated from everyone that he started off with. He started off having a friendship with Poe. He saw Poe as a pilot. They worked together to get off the shit. They had that moment, where they're shooting stuff and everything. They get separated. He's trying to find him the rest of the movie. He meets Rey. They go on this adventure with Han Solo. I get it. Could you imagine like being in that situation? You get cast in that and you're interacting with these people. You're going to be in the Millennium Falcon. You get to meet Chewie. You get to meet Han fucking Solo, and you get to fight with the lightsaber. That must have been the time of his life filming The Force Awakens. And then you go into The Last Jedi, which is the polar fucking opposite, and just getting sexually harassed and followed around by a weirdo the entire movie. I feel fucking sorry for him. That's like the biggest slap in the face ever, and they just threw away his character. Totally off-topic rant. It is on-topic rant, but sorry, let me finish reading this. After going on individual quests, The Last Jedi, he believes the bond between Rey, Finn, and Poe will be difficult to explore with just one movie left, saying, I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to establish that long-term dynamic with The Rise of Skywalker. I 100% agree. Even in Empire Strikes Back, we still had that scene in the beginning where they're on Hoth, where you see Han Solo is risking his life to go save Luke. He knows that, hey, it's cold. We gotta shut the doors or else everyone inside is gonna freeze. I'm not gonna go let Luke freeze. And they're like, your Tauntaun's not even gonna make it. And he's like, I don't care. Then I'll see you in hell. I'm gonna go fucking save Luke. I'm gonna go find my friend and fucking save him. I don't care what the risk is to my own life. Wow. And, he saves Luke. And then, they have to fight against the Empire. And, Luke's got to take down the AT-ATs. Han's got to get Leia off the planet. They get separated, but then they meet up at the end because Luke has to go train. And then Han's forming that bond with Leia. He's trying to get her to admit her feelings because, Leia's already gone on that hero's journey. She's already established as a person. She knows who she is. She knows what her destiny is. And she's come to terms with that. And, Han's like, hey, you need to let loose. You need to come to terms with your feelings. You got to come to terms with your emotions. I know we're in a war, but hey, guess what? If you continue to deny the fact that you're in love with me, it's not going to help anything. And so Leia and Han have that, and he helps her, come to terms with her feelings that she's in love with him, and it's okay for you to be happy, even though you're in war, even though there are risks. It's a great fucking bonding thing. And Luke, that bond that he gets from feeling that he needs to go save them, and he goes and he does, he saves Leia from, getting taken prisoner. Obviously, he couldn't save Han, but he tried, and he faced Vader. Come on, you don't think that's great? Like, what? That bonding? And then, now when they do the Return of the Jedi, it makes it even stronger because, now Han saved him, Luke's returning the favor. It's one of those friendships that's going to stand the test of time. What the fuck do they have? What the fuck do they have? Oh, in the beginning of the movie, you know, however many days, I don't know what the time jump is gonna be, but, oh, you know, I helped you get off, you know, this First Order Star Destroyer, and we flew a ship together, and then I met you back up at the end of the movie. Oh, Rey, you know, we kind of had a whole movie together, and then I haven't seen you because you were off training, not training, but you're off having forced weirdo Skype calls with Weirdo Boy, and then now what? Now what? What friendships do they have? What is friendships are there to base it off of? From a previous movie where it was just the beginnings of a friendship where you could just continue, you can write that off as like an acquaintance. There's a difference between a friend and a bond and just somebody that you're an acquaintance with. That is just, it just seems like, oh, there was someone that I did that one thing with that one time. It's not going to stand the test of time. And I feel bad for him. I feel bad for all the actors and actresses because they all just got, you know, the short end of the stick on this entire, like, catastrophe. Ugh, my voice. Hamill has previously talked about his disagreements with The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson. Oh, yeah, we know. And we all feel fucking sorry as hell for you, Mark Hamill. Specifically about what happened with his character, Luke Skywalker. However, he later regretted criticizing the movie. Well, guess what? Guess what? Once this movie is out and they're all free to talk about it, I know for sure as hell Mark Hamill's going to be at the forefront saying, they fucked me over, they fucked me with something hard and sandpapery, and, you know, I'm never going to be the same. And, you know, Luke, I'm sorry, I agree with you, oh shit, what did I click? This is Jake Skywalker, this is not Luke Skywalker. All of us fans, we know what they did to you, we are all sorry. You know, we watched you get abused. And we watched you cry out in pain, and we felt it. It was like that moment in, you know, when Obi-Wan says, I feel like 1,000 voices cried out and then were silenced at once. You know, we felt that. It was like the Alderaan. Like, we witnessed you watch your character get destroyed, and you had that same moment that Carrie had back when she was watching the Death Star blow up Alderaan. We watched you go through that, watching your character, and our hearts broke for you. And, you know, there's nothing that anyone can do to fix it and to make it better, but at least, like, know that we are 100% behind you, that we support you. All the true Star Wars fans, all the ones like me that have loved, you know, your character and everything that Luke Skywalker stood for since we were children. You know, we will never, you know, stop defending Luke Skywalker. We will never stop defending you. And what they did to you was just straight up wrong and malicious and evil. After a copy of the Rise of Skywalker script ended up on eBay, Boyega admitted he left his script under his bed while moving apartments. He also believes that Anakin Skywalker would beat Rey or Kylo Ren in a lightsaber, or Kylo Ren and Rey in a lightsaber duel. I agree with that. And see, that's another thing. They just don't care. It's just that dumb. What I feel like my prized possession would be like, oh my gosh, like I have the script to Star Wars. He's just like, no, fuck it. Like he didn't even remember that he left it under his bed when he was moving. When you're moving, you usually take everything with you. The fact that it was just that, like, much of like, oh, I don't care about it, that tells a lot. That you know, and honestly, it was pretty funny hearing about that going on eBay. But it's just very telling the way that everyone is just handling this, because they're not handling it like something that they care about, something they're passionate about. It's more of like, this is annoyance I'm so ready to be free of. The next Star Wars film may be controversial as well, as J.J. Abrams said the movie introduces new force powers that may divide fans. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have all the expanded universe that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't want to admit exist, with all of these great force powers. Do you think JJ's actually going to rip it off? Because I don't honestly think JJ is capable of, you know, an original idea. All JJ does is rip shit off. So I'm like, oh, did he read a book? And because, oh, it's a new force ability, even though it was in a book that was, you know, Star Wars, is he going to introduce, like, I'm trying to think, like, the Sith sorcery? Probably not, even though there's the dagger that, you know, the little MacGuffin that they're going to try to introduce. Are they going to introduce, oh my god, I'm blanking on the technical term for this ability, but when the Jedi, they can force meditate and they can kind of control the moods of people when they're in battle? Is Rey all of a sudden going to be a miracle at that? Is that why they're going to show all the different ships? Let's show 1,000 ships in one screen, and, you know, let's have just Rey, let's connect to the Force, and then just control everyone's moves so the bad guys just don't want to fight anymore. How much you want to bet that's going to be what they do? Because that would be the laziest excuse for writing, because even when Jedi actually use that ability, even when Sith actually use that ability in the expanded universe, they have to put their entire focus in it, and all they do is just sit there and meditate and do that, and they have to rely on others to keep them, you know, protected. And that's how a lot of the Jedi that had this ability, it's a very rare ability, that's why a lot of them died, because the Sith want to kill them, because they're like, you are our main threat, because you are making our troops not want to fight. We have to go and kill you, because if we kill you, then we will be able to win this battle. And so, you know, they had Jedi that had to protect them, but at the end of the day, you know, you can go read the Darth Bane trilogy. You can go see how it ended up for all those Jedi. Oh yeah, guess what? They died. Spoiler alert. But, I feel like JJ's just, either he's going to make something totally fucking stupid that is just going to solve all of Rey's problems, like everything that she does, or, he's going to rip it off and then deny that he ripped it off from a Star Wars book. But, I don't know. All of the moral of this story, John Boyega, they did you dirty. Daisy Ridley, they did you dirty. Finn Poe, which is Oscar Isaac, they did you dirty. Mark Hamill, they did you fucking dirty. I am so sorry. This sucks. I cannot wait for this dumpster shit show to get released and for everyone to finally be able to, you know, vent and talk about it, because guess what? The fandom menace, everyone that's a Star Wars fan, we are going to be here for you, and we will accept you with open arms, because we've been sitting here, we've been trying to fight for you, we've been trying to fight for the right of Star Wars, and it's been killing us, you know, watching the shit that they've done to you, and watching, you know, because we all know that you have to sit back and hold your tongue, so we cannot wait for you to finally be free and finally be able to express yourselves and speak out against, you know, the horrible things that were done to you and your characters. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think is the Force ability that J.J. Abrams is going to introduce. And if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's going to really help me in the algorithm, because YouTube is making the move from, you know, let's flag everything as children content, but also they're going to stop promoting, you know, individual creators and only promote corporations. So it really helps me and other, you know, content creators if you like the video and if you share it, and if you want to continue to see, you know, independent content creators and not just, you know, access media that are basically getting paid to shill out shit for stupid corporations like Disney. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.